The Legion curse haunts us on this spooky Christmas episode.
Yes, it's a Christmas movie. Ha 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 ha. It's funny.
Hey, it was fitting, and I think this episode's going to come out probably like right at Christmas too, because our end of the year is going to come out a couple days before. So I'm happy for a Christmas themed episode with my homies.
I'll put Christmas music in there as well.
There we go. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
There's so much, my homies, that we are re-recording the first 10 minutes of this podcast because we got the audio, baby, but we did not get the video, and we are really pushing this YouTube thing. So I gotta, just like Paul Bettany in one of his previous movies, I gotta whip myself a little bit here. I'll prostrate myself in front of you guys. I apologize. Thank you for round 2.
Man, I had all that great stuff I said. Now it's gone.
I'll set you right back up. I'll set you right back up. I promise. Well, that voice that you're hearing is our returning guest for many episodes. We have Ulrich from Geeks with Shields is here in voice form only to talk to us about Legion. How you doing, Ulrich?
Pretty good. Not as good as I was 10 minutes ago.
Nah.
Whew. We'll try to get over that hump real quick. We got to talk about a Scott Stewart movie, you know? Jesse Fresco, our professional cynic, is also here to help us figure out what happened with this movie.
They just didn't write a good script.
Yeah. Something somewhere went wrong because the pieces are there. It's an incredibly dull movie.
For all the stuff that's shoved into it, it's really boring because everyone's invincible.
Yeah.
If you die, don't you just become an angel and you can come back anyways?
It's not even that. It's like they're not doing anything interesting with the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but before we jump into that, let's run through our positives out the top. The concept is part of what we want to keep here, Ulrich. So what is working for you in that concept? Or is the idea just keep the idea and make it work better with some working out of the parts?
The idea, the core idea is really solid because pretty much everyone understands or has some basic tentative knowledge of Christian mythology if you grew up in the Western world. So the idea of what if angels went to war is really kind of cool, has a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
And this being a siege movie, single location, under siege by ever-increasing waves, that's always like a setup for me. Like, oh, I'll watch that. And I also feel like it's relatively easy to film and make because it's one location, small cast.
Right.
You can put all of your money into effects.
Cast is a big positive here for me, too. Paul Bettany is the only maybe miscast that I feel like I have. But
no, Paul Bettany's good for that. Well, I don't know.
I want somebody bigger. I feel like this is meant to feel like one of those 80s like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I think, Jesse, in the first chunk, you likened it to The Terminator. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, a big guy in this role is like immediately more fun.
This movie is Terminator, but with angels, and that's not a bad pitch for this movie.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything more than go, hey, this lady's pregnant with not Jesus, and this angel has to protect her from these other angels.
Yeah.
Are they going to go on the run? No, this is one location. Are they going to do anything cool? No.
I said this is just Preacher, but they didn't follow through with the concept like Preacher did. You know, that's
Preacher is mean and cynical, which this movie kind of needed to be, but that's all in the cons.
And it's funny too, and that's another thing. This film is just kind of dour and grim all the time, but it's
it's very much of those 2010s.
The premise is too silly to take this shit seriously, which is why Preacher overall is more successful, although I have serious issues with the show itself.
Yeah, it's almost like Dennis Quaid's character is here to be that like Han Solo audience member of like this is too wild, this is too weird, this is like
the audience
concept
POV.
Yeah, the concept isn't even making sense to him within the story.
Well, the problem is it's dumb. Lean into that dumb and just have cool action set pieces. Because again, angels attacking a diner opens up a whole lot of cool possibilities.
Right.
And instead it's just, hey, look, there's Doug Jones, but he's a scary ice cream man.
And it's
what
a great
does this
sequence.
have to do with anything? I'm happy. I'm always happy to see Doug Jones getting work, but what is the connection between him stretching his limbs out and going all crazy and angels?
Yeah, why is it some transform into monsters and others just kind of become zombified?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost brought someone on to help out with the lore on this episode, but as I dove into it in my own research, this is like fan Bible re-editing where they're taking in books of the Bible that are non-canonical. So like there's many early Old Testament books that aren't considered part of the Bible that are still Bible stories, and so like the Book of Enoch is an example. That is not in the Bible that you would buy in a store right now, but it is talking about exactly the same stuff that is in that Bible, and so it's considered non-canon, but it's way more interesting. And so I think they based their movie from within that instead of within the actual imagery that Ulrich, you're saying here, is like they're leaning on this like very like obvious Christian imagery. It's actually like Christian conspiracy theory backgrounded instead.
Well, cool.
Canon,
Do that.
non-canon. I thought this
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
word
cool.
of God.
Do that, right?
Canon,
I'm just
non-canon.
saying.
I thought that this was the word of God, Seth.
Oh,
Listen,
boy.
you're asking questions that I don't feel comfortable answering for.
Yeah.
Not my group. It's not. My
By the
group.
way, hard atheist here, harder every day. So.
Yeah, I definitely fall into. I don't know what's out there, but it definitely ain't what the Christians have.
Yeah.
Anybody that has to claim they have the only one has something to hide.
Oh fuck yeah! This is just no. That's one of my other cons. Like, oh boy,
Man, this
we're
book
doing
has
the
a lot of
very-
answers in it. Jesus.
Yeah, no. This one does my least favorite trope of that. The very specific, and it's very common, that Christianity is the one true belief, but it occurs in the real world with real science. Do not think about that because that's not how that works.
Right, like
Yeah.
a character specifically mentions praying, and then my question is, wait a second, we need to see praying now because this shit works apparently. Like, right?
Oh no, my brain starts going like, okay, Christianity's always existed, so the Roman Empire being a no, dude, don't think about these dinosaurs. It immediately pulls me out. Do not do that. I hate that trope with a passion because stop.
And it sometimes it feels like the movie's trying to explain it in almost like a Matrix type way, where like the our Earth human realm is something they're like downloading into, and that's why they need our bodies, but the archangels don't because they're more powerful. But then they don't explain why Michael cuts off his wings and takes his halo off, and it's like,
let's talk about the Halo real quick because that's my one positive. Halos represented as collars is the high point of this movie.
I think the first 5 minutes of this movie are straight fucking gas. The opening promise of this movie is like, it's the Matrix, but for Christians, but it'll actually be cool.
Oh,
and
it's just
so,
gonna be kind of metal and like, okay, cool. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Right.
Again, he cuts off his wings and his halo falls off, and it's a collar like he was enslaved. I'm like, cool.
Did he cut
That's
them off
some
himself? I
fun
thought
imagery.
they took him from him.
No, he like cuts them off himself. It's like his big act of rebellion.
Yeah. That's why he stitches up his back in the opening sequence.
You know, you might have wanted those, especially in your later
Yeah.
fight.
You would think, right?
Yeah, those are really big, especially considering the fact that when the Gabriel's swinging around, they're basically like as sharp as blades. He's like fucking Archangel from the X-Men.
Well, and this is an example, I think, of like a pro-con, which we see on the show all the time, where it's a cool idea that doesn't make sense in concept, because it's like, had he just kept his wings, he could have just flown to Paradise Falls.
Yeah.
Nothing would have stopped him. We see a Gabriel show up later with his wings, so we know it's possible to keep them. We know that's not an impossibility. And then any argument of like, well, he wanted to stay discreet. Why? The world is ending.
Yeah,
His
probably
character
would've
knows.
spread things along a bit faster.
Well, and his character knows it for a fact. So why would his character specifically care about that? It's like it's like a nonsensical.
Because it's the whole symbolism of cutting off his wings to signify yada yada. I get it. It's cool. But at the same time, but maybe he just have him breaking the literal collar as his halo, that to be the representation without the whole.
Yeah.
And also the film opens with a quote. And it's I can't remember what the hell the quote was, but I remember. Why is it they didn't open up with a different quote that even references the concept of Legion? It's Oh God, what's the Legion quote?
Well, so the Legion quote biblically is about demons, and the
Yeah, it's
movie
about
is going.
demons.
The movie's going out of its way to be like angels are the same thing as demons in that they can possess people, and you can't tell the difference because they're opposed to you specifically in this situation. And so it's way too messy. It's way too like
'Cause now I'm
difficult.
wondering, wait,
Yeah, hence it would have made
demons
more
exist in this
sense to
world?
include demons instead of
Yeah.
angels. It made more sense. Then you could use that Legion quote. You know,
But I guess the demons, I don't know. Like again, and so the movie also has to explain if all of this is real, why did God make demons in the first? Like God actually has to answer for all of your atheist talking points at this point, right?
Yeah, that's what I hate. Like the minute you introduce that Christianity is the one true faith, it's like, oh, you just opened a whole bunch of questions that need answered.
there's a comic book series I really like called God is Dead, written by John Hickman, and it's basically about what if every religion was true. What if every religion, like every god, was basically like they were at war with each other, fighting for dominance, and Earth was kind of caught in the middle of it.
Oh, cool. Someone did do
So
that idea. I've had that idea for years. Like that is how...
Yeah, it's way out of print now. Avatar Press is basically is defunct at this point.
Damn it.
Yeah,
I want to
if you
read
can find
that, 'cause
them,
that...
if you can find them, they're good. Yeah, it's like every religion, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, they're all separate, but they influence.
That's
everything.
how you do this. That is how you tell this story, or you just don't try.
And then you can still use the Legion quote. For we are legion, for we are many. Like you can still use that. It's like you can still use that quote if you did this. But that means having to research all these religions, and everyone's bored, and then everyone would get too bored of having to do all this research all the time. So.
Yeah, homework movie is not what this is trying to be, right?
Yeah, that's why it's better as a comic. So
yeah, I've got some praise for some of the script. This is turning into one of those episodes where I'm recognizing the beats and the sequences are okay on their own. There's just no overarching connectivity to like run it through. And so when I think about individual moments, I really like the movie. Like I really like as Michael's rolling up in the cop car after they've been hit by the locust storm, and Tyrese Gibson has a line that's like, "Do you expect me to have intel on a fucking pestilence?" And I'm like, that is such great like early 2010s writing for this just like offensively, obscenely wild situation to be in. That like I get why he's upset to be asked about a swarm of locusts, but also he did really just experience that. So yeah, dude, I do expect you to have at least some kind of response.
Yeah.
I love those moments where the movie is like really trying to show us how split these characters are through this experience, especially after the best scene of the movie, the grandma going fucking crazy. That's like another 5 minutes of straight gas in this movie.
Your fucking baby's gonna burn.
Dude, so infinitely quotable. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like some of the lines in those moments when they really go I think they really try to offend Christians for a minute, and I dig it. It's kind of like immature, and I get why it doesn't work, but it has this like punk rock like, yeah, we're gonna get this old lady to call you a fucking cunt in the restaurant, and like, oh dude, like that was 2010. I'm like struggling with my own Christianity at that point. So to see a movie that's like, it's okay to do this to all this shit, because no, it doesn't make any sense. I was going, yeah, I feel that. Like, I really dig it.
Yeah, no, those are the pieces. I'm like, okay, I see the movie you want to be. Where is that? Because it's not in this movie.
It's like they wanted to do like Dogma as the Matrix,
Again,
that's a hell of a
angels
combination.
declaring war on Earth. Cool idea. God is an invading force. Awesome idea. Terminator with angels. Awesome idea. Isn't even in this movie. No, not really.
No.
And that's what pisses me off, because the marketing, like, this could be good. This could be fun. I like Paul Bettany.
So let me ask you, when you hear like a feed line like angels going to war with humans, with your background, what are you imagining? Like, what is that conjuring for you that's different from, a demon-surrounded restaurant in the desert?
Oh, when I'm like thinking, okay, angels going to war. Am I the only one that played the original Darksiders game?
I feel like I did, but it has been so long I need to refresh myself.
Yeah.
Basically, it's got that big early 2010s big armor, kind of sci-fi.
Yeah. The cover's looking super
beings
familiar.
Dropping from the skies, destroying, and it's just like it feels like it would be in place on the side of a panel van.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's big, it's epic, it feels vaguely like a sci-fi setting that it feels like something Zack Snyder would think up and then make into a terrible movie.
I hate being a Christian lore nerd too, because the pitch for this is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are also the last of the Nephilim, and that is like so against biblical canon. Like that just doesn't work on so many multiple levels.
But
this
those
is
are all words
this is
that
so
people are familiar
hardcore.
with.
Yeah. The 4 horsemen isn't even in the Bible, isn't it? It's not even in it, is it?
Not
it
in the
is,
way people think it is.
Yeah, it's not in the like characterized way that we imagine it, but it is in there in John and Revelation. And the Nephilim are in there too, but they're all the way back at the beginning of the Old Testament, because that was angels fucking humans and making super people.
Yep.
Yeah, that's in the Bible too. Hey guys, I'm not misquoting anything here. You can open these pages and read it for your fucking self.
One thing I did like was the moment when all the crowd start to arrive around the diner, and you hear the trumpets in the sky. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. That's cool.
That's fun. Something cool. Something not in this movie.
Yeah. Why didn't it blow out the windows? I don't know why it didn't do that, but okay. It's fine.
Yeah, those moments definitely could have been played up. Like you even to see like a huge like reverse funnel of air up in the sky, like a mountain, and have the horn kind of projecting out of it, like a apocalyptic disaster. That would be so cool.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like interesting visuals in it. It really wants to be like an Evil Dead crossed with Terminator, crossed with Matrix, but it just doesn't.
It doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it an action movie? Is it a horror movie?
And also, there's no end goal. Like, we want to protect this kid. Why?
Yeah.
Why is it always a fucking kid? Like, what? Why do we want? Is it the second coming of Christ? Like, does that mean that God hates his own kid? Like, what? Why? What is the
God's motivation in this is so dumb.
It'd be great if we actually saw God. It'd be great if we saw that.
Right?
No, we just get humanity made God sad, so God said, fuck it, as a test for the angels, because the angels are too loyal to God. What the fuck?
What does that even mean?
Actual fuck? What does any of that mean?
Again,
also, I hate the trope that...
better. Preacher did this better.
Yes, God's a dick. Leave it at that. You don't need any more than that.
Also, I don't up on Earth. Have him be an asshole.
Michael is basically a reincarnation of the devil at this point too, because the devil is...
Fallen angel.
Yeah, a fallen angel that
rebelled against God. He's like questioned him.
So our main character's literally the devil, and we're supposed to believe he's a good guy. Like, so I love that as a concept, but it's not working.
Yeah, how many more versions of the script existed before we got to this one? Because you see the layers popping through. Like, was that the idea at some point? That he was literally going to be called Lucifer, and that was going to be the whole story?
I mean,
we got a Boulder. It's Boulder.
We got a Lucifer TV show, and it's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
So,
but I mean, the restaurant's called Paradise Falls, an obvious reference to Paradise Lost, the story of how the devil fell. It's like you got some ideas. Are you going to do anything with them? No. Okay.
No.
Lame. Yeah. So what is our understanding of why the baby is needed here? As you exit the film, do you have any explanation as to why the baby's needed?
Sequel.
Nope. Sequel bait.
He'll be important in the sequel.
Doesn't Dominion take place like 25 years afterwards, and it's and he's like all grown up or something like that? Isn't that the sequel?
I don't remember. I only watched like the first episode. It opens on Vegas, and all the angels. There's like Michael's a drugged out weirdo, and they call the possessed humans black balls because their eyes get all black.
That's so corny. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's
so corny.
Yes. I'm like, oh boy, Vegas as the holdout for humanity again.
The other issue is
that
if you kill a person, they go up to heaven, they become an angel. Can't they just come right back down? You can Michael dies in the movie, goes up to heaven, becomes an angel again, gets his wings back, and comes back down. Is it just like endless cycle?
Well, I think that was supposed to be because he was the only one that realized God's secret coded message of don't kill the humans.
What? That's dumb.
The whole premise is dumb. God said, go kill humans as a test to the angels because the angels were too loyal to God. And it's like, what the fuck, God? Why? Why would you do that?
You could just say, hey, just don't do that. Because you're God. You don't have to, like, they're loyal to you. That's fine.
I think
but you could also just say, relax, guys. You don't. Is he trying to prove that that the angels are like a cult?
Yes, I think that was the idea, but it's still, it's like, if this were in a relationship, God would be a serious abuser.
Seth, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing because the reason that we treat cults the way that they do is because there are no angels showing up on Earth to back them up, right? So, like, I'm not sure why God would be mad at a cult if they have something real to follow. Like, what? What are you mad at?
Yeah, that's the point.
And what are they doing that they're too loyal? Are they going out and attacking people on their own? No, they just really love God, and he's not comfortable with that love. So,
and to answer your question earlier, Jesse, the angels are a separate entity from what a human soul becomes when it leaves a body and goes to heaven.
Okay,
they're very specifically separate entities because God is jealous over humans and their ability to read right from wrong. Angels don't have that ability. And that's actually why they coded Michael's character this way, why he still like carries the faith, is because that is like the biblical canon is that angels are supposed to be coded that way. Lucifer's like an odd one out until you get into the weeds of it, and I'm not getting into the weeds of it. I think that's kind of the movie is trying to say that the angels as separate entities like agents in the Matrix are possessing these people's bodies, but then the people are dying as you are killing them too. So it's like it's trying to do zombie without saying zombie.
Yeah, and I got that. And like we have the distinction between angels and archangels.
Right.
Which I get, that's cool. I like that. That's good. But I don't understand why the angels have to possess human bodies.
That's part of their.
They're just zombies.
So that's part of their destroy the earth move, right? Like ash, like reduce the earth to ash. The angels aren't powerful enough to come to our planet in their form. Only archangels are. So they have to possess the bodies to use our own bodies to destroy our own world.
This is overly complicated for a reason to destroy the planet.
Listen, how much better would it have been if it had been God is dead and the angels just figured that out and they're trying to keep it away from the demons?
God, yes.
That works too.
Perfect.
Or you just have the angels rock up with cool, crazy, angelic weapons and start setting shit on fire because they're fucking angels. And you can make them do whatever you want because they're fucking angels.
And then I do like the idea that we need a mechanic in the movie to explain why bullets are able to affect and hurt and like be useful here. Like we need a reason for the guns to be around for humans. Otherwise, I'm saying like, what if when the rapture happens, all the guns disappear and it's like it's just all melee battles? Because that like if you're gonna go high concept, why not go high concept?
Yes, that lean into it because when the archangels show up, like, oh, that's almost a cool design. It could use a little bit more color and a little bit more, stylization.
Oh yeah.
Fucking armored wings and maces and just beating the living dog fuck out of each other. Yes. That's the movie I wanted this whole time.
I have some weird, deep lore for you guys that only pays off with a picture if you're willing to hear about it.
Go for it.
All right.
Okay, so back when I was a kid in church, we weren't allowed to play WoW or like most of your like online, kind of fantasy games because they had magic involved. We weren't allowed to play Magic the Gathering, couldn't play Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that.
Because magic is considered a satanic.
The devil, yeah.
Yes.
I know this speech.
Jesus
yes.
Christ.
So to combat that, there was a Christian company called Redemption Card Game that made I'm not kidding, like Magic the Gathering style biblically based card game.
Okay.
I'm pulling up the pictures to show you guys. They made what may be the coolest visual of angels I've ever seen in my life, and it has affected my ability to watch these kinds of movies without going, oh no, they could look way, 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 way cooler. Here's the card. I'm going to send it to the chat real quick. Oh, wait, I might be able to add it right into the video that we're making for YouTube right now. Dude, this would be so cool. Hold up.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Oh, damn. It's not a JPEG. Fuck. I'm getting fucked. Can I just paste it right into here? That would be so cool. No, I can't.
Take a screenshot of it and just
No, I can do a screen share into the video. Oh no, yeah, screenshot. You're right. Here, let me snip. I can cut all this out later.
Sounds exciting over there.
Listen, I for some reason it's not pulling up my snip tool when I put it into the search bar. I don't know why.
Did it look anything like the angels from Diablo? Because that's the aesthetic they should have gone with.
No, it's not quite Diablo. Here, I just dropped the link into the chat for you guys.
Oh,
there you go.
They ripped off X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 90s X-Men.
That it's like fucking what's the
That's Archangel.
Bloodstrike. It's the Rob Liefeld character.
Yeah. Right down to the no feet and the big hands.
Oh yeah, no feet, no feet, no hands.
Is it like, dude, this was the coolest thing that 13-year-old Seth could have set his eyes on ever in his life. Here,
Seth MacFarlane made a whole lot of money doing this kind of shit.
It's now in the YouTube video. Watchers, this is what I'm talking about. This is a Dungeons and Dragons Magic the Gathering inspired Christian card game. Also, that card, because of that symbol up in the top corner there, it was super powerful. Actually, the gameplay was closer to Yu-Gi-Oh! For the nerds out there. This was closer to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game.
Religious Yu-Gi-Oh! Perfect.
So this is my addition. Can we please make the angels look like this when they're in their armor?
This is what you do. Big, dumb, over the top, because you're already big, dumb, and over the top.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Commit to it. You know?
It's not hard, like all the pieces are here. I love the imagery of like him walking out of a burning cross to take out a couple cops at the beginning of the it wants to be so punk rock. It really does.
It's big, it's bombastic. It's not courting the Christian faction. It's like, no, we're just taking their toys for a minute to tell interesting stories. Cool. And then it's like 90 minutes of them telling the most boring, bland story possible.
Yeah.
So do you want to keep the Siege movie aspect? Is that worth saving?
Yes, the Siege is like 90% of the movie. Because that's fun, that's interesting, and most importantly, you can do it with a single location.
Are you cool with this location, or do you...
No, I changed up the location.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
Because a diner isn't like... No, there's nothing fun to do with a diner. Like, it's big glass panels. It's gonna blow over in a storm. You're not gonna have anything fun in the basement.
It should be like a big tower kind of thing,
Like, unless you're doing the diner from Maximum Overdrive, there's nothing interesting happening.
Wow. I don't think I thought about that movie in about 10 years.
That is funny.
Oh, I love Maximum Overdrive. That's just, that's a movie and a half.
Stephen King says he doesn't even remember making it because he was a little cocaine mind.
Oh, man. Speaking of things that make you feel like you're on cocaine, this is a Fast and Furious link-up movie, isn't it? We got Tyrese Gibson in here.
It is. Yeah. It's, I mentioned in my notes, this is a backdoor prequel to Fast and Furious.
I mean, listen, that's the only thing that could really elevate those movies at this point, right?
Yeah. Is Tokyo Drift the worst of all the Fast and Furious? I don't even know.
No, it's definitely 4. 4 is shamefully boring. Like,
okay.
Tokyo Drift is at least a cool car movie. You know what I mean? Like, I think most of them all have their thing, but we get 2 of the characters here, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I realized when I was watching this is the second time I fixed a movie with Adriana Palicki in it.
Yeah, how does that keep happening?
I don't know. I saw it's you again. Well, this is better than Red Dawn, but not by much.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we can just shift
actress.
Yeah, we can shift gears and talk about the Orville instead. I'd much rather talk about that.
The Orville.
Which will never
Star Trek's good again,
Orville.
even when it's not Star Trek.
Which will never come back again, unfortunately.
So. Really? They finally kill it?
Oh yeah, well apparently they in the span of like what was it 5 years they made only 30 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the studio was kind of like, yeah, why are you wasting your time and money? And it's just like Seth MacFarlane was just fucking around and they weren't committing to making any episodes. And it's like, yeah, you're putting actors on a contract and you're not paying them properly. It was they couldn't go work, because they were stuck under contract, and so a lot of the actors got sick of it, and they just said, "Fuck it, we're done."
So classic Fox bullshit.
Well,
I'd say MacFarlane is more to blame.
Making a show with your friends and trying to make it an actual like flagship show are two different things.
Yes.
And it's got the airs of like I want to make a show with my friends and not I'm trying to because he needs a writing staff. He need like Star Trek seasons, especially back in the day. They used to give us 24, 45-minute episodes a season.
Yeah,
like holy shit, you got to have a writing team to do that.
Yeah,
that means paying writers.
Right.
No one wants to pay writers.
Well, it says a lot about MacFarlane as a person, I think.
I mean, I want him to have a good time, but not if it's going to affect people's livelihoods.
Not at the expense of other people's income.
Right.
Yes, that's basic rule.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess back to this.
Back to Legion. Damn, guys.
Well, okay, if you were to unleash any venom on this, what is like its most offensive issue that we need to really delete out?
What are the stakes? Like what is the purpose of protecting this child?
Yeah, stakes. Yeah, that's strong agree. Yeah.
What is the end goal here? Is it holding out for something? Is it proving something? Is it doing anything?
Can we bullshit something here to make the like child prophecy thing work? Because it is like I'm willing to accept prophecy now.
I cut the child prophecy shit. Like, nope, get out of here. You're not interesting.
See,
we're not doing John Connor 2.0.
I think I'm cool with it because of the Christian background, where it's like, oh yeah, I guess prophecy is real now.
What if the twist is that it's not the second coming of Christ, but it's actually the Antichrist?
Ooh.
Like the child comes out and it's got like 666 on its head or something. I know that's all bullshit. But it's like what
if that was the test for Michael? What if it's like you have to kill this baby to kind of end all the rest of the suffering happening?
See, that would actually be interesting. He gets down there. He realizes, oh, this is literally an old school test from God. I know this one. I administered this in the Old Testament. And he's the only one that goes, maybe we shouldn't serve a God that wants to kill a child. And then the angels go, no, that's dumb. God told us to do it. And then your whole stupid ending with this being a test from God makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the easiest fix right there. Tie the two plots together. Not God's sad.
What if God's dead because he's trying to rebirth himself through that kid? What if this is the one? What if this is the one chance to actually kill God, where they're like making some backroom deals, being like,
if you want to
the
flip
first
it to
time
be
he's
demonics and actually lean into the horror stuff, yes, do that. That works great.
I'm here for the horror stuff. The more Evil Dead this is, especially in a stationary location, the better. Like I think isolating our characters from each other is the real big issue with the movie, where just like characters are kind of always around but never close enough to get there in time, and like it isolate everyone from each other, like lock people into places with demonic forces and shit. Like, please, this is a haunted house movie.
Or what if like one of the people in the diner is actually the Antichrist, and it's just like they're hiding it, and like
what if the Antichrist is there to usher God in? Like, there's been a misunderstanding, and like his job is actually necessary for this this process. Oh man, I love.
It turns out the Antichrist isn't like a bad person. He's kind of like, I just kind of got stuck with this. I don't really want to be a bad guy. It's like,
it's a game of telephone. That works.
There's another comic I like from Garth Ennis called Chronicles of Wormwood. It's really fucking good. Another thing from Avatar, so it's way out of print. Basically, the main character is the Antichrist. But he doesn't want to end the world. He just wants to make good television. He's a television producer.
Dude, that would be me if I was the Antichrist.
But he has the little 666 on his head, and he has like the power to like use one power for each day. He can like make people like think whatever he wants or do whatever he wants, but he can only do it one time a day.
But
it's just kind of like a comedy. It's like in order to piss off one of his competing producers that tries to steal his ideas, he sends a truck over to his house and fills his swimming pool with whale semen.
Yeah, it's Garth Ennis.
That's
Hell
Garth
yeah.
Ennis.
Yeah. If you gave that man a genie, he would just turn into a chaos demon.
Yeah, it's very sick and gross and nasty, and it's incredibly juvenile, but it's a lot of fun. He has a talking rabbit. That's kind of fun.
I love that.
Yeah, but it's
talking
it's
animals.
just
That's
comedy.
biblical. That could be in here. Why
Yeah.
don't we have any talking animals?
Because that
Yeah.
would make this movie interesting.
Yeah. Also, Jesus is a reincarnated black Rastafarian that got brain damage from a riot.
Yeah, that
What?
On the cover right there.
I'm
that I
looking at
shared.
the thing. I'm like,
That-
yeah.
Oh,
that's-
in Wormwood. I thought you were talking about Legion for a split second. I was like, I looked away for that scene. I don't know how to just explain myself.
No, in Chronicles of Wormwood, it's Black Jesus
That's
who got
cool.
hit in the head. He got hit in the head by a cop during a protest. Now he has brain damage.
Wow.
Yeah. Again, that
It's
tracks for Garth
it's
Ennis.
as offensive and what's the term for being anti-religion? What's the term?
Oh, sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious as possible. Yeah, it's as sacrilegious as possible.
My first pitch is change the name of this from Legion to Sacrilegious. I think that's a better, especially if you're going horror. Like maybe we're setting up a couple different pitches here because I know Ulrich, you have something prepared too. But
Yeah.
sometimes the writing just comes out, and I think a siege movie turning into a haunted house movie with like a sacrilegious title and background. We're getting closer to what I would really tickle my pickle for this. How's this
Yeah,
sounding?
because when I sat and watched, it's like, okay, I don't know how I'm going to fix this. Then I watched, like, okay, I got to pick a lane. Is this going to be an action or is this going to be a horror?
Yeah.
And I ended up doing action because I'm like, I don't know how to write a horror exactly.
We'll do one of each
But
then. Yeah. That's
you
perfect.
need to pick.
That's perfect.
You got to divide your focus because that's movie. This thing it doesn't work because it's not very good action and it's not very good horror.
Yeah.
It just sits right in the middle and like, ooh, spooky grandma, ooh, mild explosions, ooh, a gun. Yeah, you got to do something. Pick one thing and be good.
Yeah. Another one other thing I'd like to say: can we change the main character's name away from Jeep? Like, come on, man. What? Why?
I love nickname characters. I would be cool if it's just his nickname. Can that
But
be
it's
our
his
like?
It's his actual name. Is his middle name Grand and last name Cherokee? Come on, man.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it not being his real name, but I'd like to keep it as a nickname.
It feels like a placeholder, like when they're writing the script, like, I don't know, Jeep. We'll just put that in and I'll come back and change it later. And they never did.
It's
so,
like
where was I born, Dad? Well, you were conceived in the back of your mom's Jeep. There you go. That's where you got your name from.
I love it. Dude, and that would be so fitting of Bob in this movie. Dennis Quaid's character is so off kilter. Like
he's such an asshole. I think that's just Dennis Quaid in general these days.
he just showed up to work.
Yeah. Your son is more talented than you.
That's right. That is his son.
Yeah.
And
I think
Holy
I don't.
shit, yeah.
As far as I'm aware, they don't talk at all. I think they're kind of like they butt heads.
and suddenly we're back to Star Trek again too. How does this keep happening?
Because we want to watch Star Trek and talk about Star Trek as opposed to talking about this crap.
Dude.
I don't know. I'm not a Trekkie.
Oh,
Fuck you.
Sorry
you are
to
missing
that's-
out.
sorry
You
to
are
make
That's
an
the other
accusation.
half of the podcast. Axel handles Star Trek. I handle everything else.
Star Wars.
Watch at the very least. Watch Lower Decks. That one's just for everybody.
I hear Lower Decks is good.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I think the only thing that may be a little off for like non-Trekkies to watch Lower Decks is how many jokes are based on lore from old
previous
TV
material.
shows.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little Easter eggs all over the place.
They make it work in a way that like you know that you're watching a reference to something from the 80s, but it can lean a little hard into that sometimes.
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah, Legion.
back to this crap.
On the other hand, just so many moments are working for me. But as I think through them, it is the horror moments and specifically the imagery that works, and it's not really in service of anything else.
what if the horror elements come from like weird like Lovecraftian transformations? Like let's throw Lovecraft lore in there
do that.
as well. What if like the angels show up and it's like the actual interpretation, like they
Get wild and crazy.
explode out of like the human bodies and they're like a giant sphere with eyeballs all over them.
So do you I don't want to be like the Christian lore guy here if this is like tripping up the podcast.
Go ahead, fill me in.
So the spinning orb eye thing, as an image of an angel is very specifically an image from a dream in the Bible where a guy is going to see God and he's describing higher dimensions in not so many words. So like there are those, and those are the cherubim, and then the seraphim are like the one we know, angels with wings, like a humanoid with wings. And then there are also like the heavenly host, which is what is represented here by the souls that drop down into the human bodies. And the heavenly host is like the wispy spirit stuff that when somebody looks at a photograph and there's like a silver streak through it and they're like, oh, look, an angel. That's that kind of angel. So like there's a stratification to it. So, and I'm not poo-pooing your idea. A cherubim could absolutely show up, but that's your end of the movie imagery. That's your like, hey, when they go into the room where God should be and he's not there because he's dead, that's where you'd see these like, Lovecraftian looking angel things. And I would love that in the movie. I would love if our location, like Silent Hill, would drop down into hell and up into heaven for the different hauntings. So like you're getting like the literal fight for their souls is yanking them into two different universes. Playing around with that visually, like you could do like red, for hell and blue for heaven, and like you could really play up along with the imagery they're kind of already using here. I wanted to get something useful out of bringing up why not all angels have 50 eyeballs, but like it's a good image. I do want to keep it.
They kind of start like with the whole when Doug Jones comes out as the ice cream man, like, oh, they are going to warp human bodies.
Yeah, why does it happen only that one time?
I don't have the answer.
Have them be zombies. Again, the idea of the human body cannot contain them because they weren't meant to. So let's get weird and wild and crazy and do some really sick body horror stuff.
Yeah.
Be a horror movie.
There really only is like 2 different shootout waves, and it's just people. Like they even mentioned the characters themselves are like, I feel bad doing this. They look just like people. And it's like, way to cop out on your concept.
Yeah, they never explain if like they're dead or if they're just possessed, and if you like get them unpossessed, they become human again. They never indulge in that.
No, they just shot children instead.
Sure. Great. Fantastic.
Yikes.
Not in bad taste at all. God. Also, if this is supposed to be the end of the world, there's supposed to be all the different plagues and such that are going to be taking over the world. What happened to the pestilence? What happened to all the locusts? Where'd they go? Like they're on the highway and then they just never go near the diner.
Yeah, the movie's really unconcerned with showing us what's happening around the world, right? It's like
you get like one radio broadcast and that's it. Like where's everything else?
Yeah.
Which, again, if you're doing a siege movie, that works great.
I get your budget's low, but you got to get me something.
Well, again, if you want to do the siege movie and you don't know what's happening outside, that's great. Bring it in, keep it tight. But actually have it feel like a siege and not like it's a minor inconvenience every 20 minutes or so.
Well, and the locusts could have stayed. They could have been part of the isolation. Like, oh, hey, they opened up this pit, and so like they can't come in because an angel's here, or whatever. But still have them circling around as like, oh, this is why they can't leave either. They're not gonna.
Yeah,
they're not
have them do something other than be a. Well, that was weird.
Right.
I wonder what that's about.
It's like, so you guys got bounced off by locusts one time and then didn't try any other roads? Weird.
Yeah, isn't there supposed to be like frogs in there as well? There should be disease. Like, where's all the rest of this?
Do anything interesting?
Yeah, anything.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing the Egyptian.
Also,
plagues.
It wasn't locusts that hit them; it was flies. It wasn't locusts that was hitting them; it was flies.
Oh yeah, flies. I mean, like, and that's
so. It should be locusts. And they didn't even get that right.
Well, and that's
the flies is the pestilence, I think, but and flies are grosser. But yeah,
they just wanted to cop out and not do all of them, And like, honestly, I thank them for not also doing the 7 deadly sins in this movie too. That would have been.
Thank God. That is so stupid.
Too fucking much.
Shit. That is so dumb.
So that's a positive. That's a positive for me. They didn't.
Yeah, that was just some bullshit that was made up by a pope in order to manipulate people.
Yeah.
So much of what's considered biblical canon is mostly other people's fanfic.
Yeah. It's mostly just cultural gaslighting. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Which again, is why this movie sets up is so much of this is baked into pop culture. You don't have to explain half of it. You just say it and be like, "Oh yeah, I've vaguely heard of that thing."
Yeah. I mean, like
archangels. You don't have to explain what an archangel is. Most people go, "Oh, those are the big ones." Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. I've at least seen one statue in my life.
Then actually make them big. Like make like Gabriel and Michael like bigger than everybody else. They should stand over, be like 7 feet tall. Like they should. Look like
Gabriel,
that.
they cast like that dude's like 6'6", I think.
But he's the same height as Paul Bettany.
Yeah, there is the thing.
You have to make them stand out.
Yeah, they could have shot it so they looked a bit more like use force perspective.
Yeah, force perspective would have been cool. Yeah. Even in the wides, you can resize people up a little bit to make them look more obviously larger than the people around them.
Yeah, it's just
like the way they did the giant in the second Hobbit movie. They did a ton of force perspective that way. And it looked great.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't remember much from the Hobbit movies.
Yeah, no, I'm reaching for it too. So we're hitting the halfway mark. Is there anything else that stands out that we need to either rescue or kind of condemn on this thing, or are we ready to get into pitching?
Let me take a look at my notes real quick.
Yeah,
I think that might be it.
Ulrich, any round out notes for you?
No, I burned through my notes because I'm like, I don't have a lot I like about this movie. I don't have a lot I hate about this movie. It's just a movie that's not good.
Yeah, I think we covered it. That's all my notes. We literally covered everything. Yeah, that's the thing. It's so kind of devoid of
personality.
That's the thing. It just doesn't have a personality or a point of its own, and it doesn't explain enough to give you any stakes. Like, if I knew why this kid was so important, I would be like, okay, is it the Antichrist? Is it the second coming of Christ? Is it God reincarnated?
That's for the next movie that you're so excited to see.
Pick one of the three now, so I give a shit, And there was no guarantee that we're going to get a TV show or a sequel movie. Yeah. So why would you leave it open like this? Like, give me a reason.
Yeah, there's no conclusion to this except.
And if Michael is showing up to protect this kid, he would know.
You would think.
And he just, when he's asked about it, he brushes it off.
So it's like, no answers for these mortals. They're dying anyways.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think to run the horror version, like the pitch out the gate is basically we don't need to lose any of these characters. I'm excited to hear where Ulrich's gonna relocate us to, because I do want to keep the reveal of the apocalypse through the grandma. If I can request a way to like fork that in the horror version, I would just keep it straight up as that. I think that's the most effective scene in the movie. But yeah, from there, it's just like I would isolate everybody out and let them kind of deal with their own internal horror within that location. Reveal that God has been dead the whole time and he's trying to rebirth himself onto Earth. And this is like the one opportunity the angels have to like, maybe there is a cult in heaven and maybe there's like rogue angels that want to end it by killing God at the one opportunity where they haven't been happy with how God's been running things. And they're like, you know what? This is their opportunity. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you see up in heaven, like the one little tiny bit you see of heaven. It's like, what if there's just like a set of doors that are just like constantly closed and you just can't get in? And it's just like, that's where God is. Leave him alone. And then finally, like Michael kicks open the door and it's like, oh, it's just an empty chair.
It's your Wizard of Oz reveal, right? Except
pay
there's
no attention to that man behind the curtain.
and
then what are the cherubim come down?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they've been in charge the whole time.
No, it's Gabriel's been sitting. God told me to tell you guys.
Yeah. And God's just a skeleton back there now. Yeah, and that's such a great reveal. And specifically in a horror movie, the way I would use that is have that reveal happen to Michael as the characters are in their like final moments of last hope, and then yank that away and go, nope, God's dead, and then kill all the rest of the cast at that exact moment in the movie, and just have it be this like, oh shit, like they were sacrifices this whole time, like, and maybe even like show the layout of the building to show like a multi-tiered like pentagram with their bodies laid out across different levels of the building, and like, oh no, like just they set up this whole thing. A sacrilegious downer ending where God is dead and the devil wins. That's my horror movie. Just, bro. That's
Earth
and ashes. That's the final shot.
That's kind of like the ending of John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I,
where like the creature from the parallel dimension is going to finally have a host body to come back through and take over our planet.
Yeah. God
That
is an
is the
eldritch being, you know, and this is the opportunity to kill him. Ulrich, I'm so stoked to hear your pitch, homie. The show's yours. What do you got for us? Let's hear this action movie.
All right, so I just kind of did like a studs up redo of this. Like I took the base concept, like, all right, let's make this into a fun sci-fi action movie.
Okay.
And we're going to do a cold open of just an army of angels destroying a city through like news broadcasts. So we're going to get a sense of this is what the angels did. We're going to get the apocalypse.
That's more zombie movie than this zombie movie.
Yeah, we're getting all these things. And then we're going to get voiceover from Angel explaining that God had grown tired of man's lack of faith and fear and sent his angels to restore it.
Okay. So the idea is people will start going to church now.
No, people are going to worship God the way God feels that God deserves to be worshipped.
Okay.
And he sent his army to do it.
Damn.
Yeah, so no, it's a real downer ending. We got this like whole big, oh fuck, we can do the plagues, we can do all the crazy stuff, we can do the face melting, we can do a big heavy, oh fuck kind of opening.
Hell yeah.
And then we're going to cut to sometime in the late, few years later, where we meet our main cast of, humans who are located in a fortified pawn shop outside Vegas called Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost Pawn Shop.
There you go.
Love it.
And again, it's outside Vegas, so maybe it's shaped like a castle or something goofy.
Yeah.
There you go. Make it look like a tower.
Or maybe there's a mini golf place right next to it, and they like arm themselves into it. Like they expand out their base.
Again, it's a pawn shop outside Vegas. Your possibilities are endless.
Hell yeah. I love this setting.
And again, it works as this is our little place for our, human resistance. Like, of course you would set up in a pawn shop because pawn shops are already fortified as fuck. Just inherently.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you'll find some crazy weapons in there. Who knows?
Oh, dude. And like,
exactly.
I love that the grandma reveal gets to stay exactly the same. She's just coming in to buy something instead of sit down to a meal. Maybe you have her act weird through the transaction and then exact same scene plays out. But now you're in a pawn shop, so everybody gets armed and shoots her.
Yeah.
That can work because I don't have like our main cast that I gotta fill in.
Okay.
Because how I like to do my pitches in bullet points and then build around those bullet points.
Totally. Yeah, I'm just filling in the dressing as you hit them. I love it.
That works perfectly. I like the little grandma reveal. I actually have a perfect spot for that. So the characters are giving us their exposition and our world building, explaining that humanity lost like 48 hours into the coming of the angels.
Damn, we got spanked.
We didn't stand a chance. Well, part of it is that a legion of human fanatics immediately rose up and threw him with the angels going, yes, God is angry at humanity's lack of faith. I will help them
that would
take over.
So happen too. Oh God, I hate that. This is so cynical, Ulrich. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Go back and listen to my Red Dawn pitch.
So, you know that MAGA America would absolutely do that.
Oh, dude, if they had angels behind them, they would turn into actual demons.
They're already ready for this. So immediately we're kind of filled with this sense of hopelessness that, well, humanity already mostly gave in and they're fighting perceived immortal beings that beat us in 48 hours.
Yeah. Resistance feels futile.
Yeah. What the fuck are we going to do?
Yeah.
And then we're introduced to our three archangels who just come crashing through the ceiling.
Hell yeah. They don't give a fuck about doors. That makes sense for an angel.
Fuck doors. We have wings.
Yeah, and this is the minute where we get to kind of see like the oh shit reaction of our little human resistance and the guns just start popping out of everywhere in a comedic sequence.
Hell yeah. Okay.
And this is where I had fun. I did some research for this. I did the three angels. We've got Jophiel, the commander of the legions, Azrael, the angel of death, and Raphael, the protecting angel.
Ooh. I already like these
because
better.
You know what? This is mythology. Let's have fun with the mythology. So we kind of have this Mexican standoff between our three archangels and our, humans. We can clearly see that Azrael is wounded. And this is where I like the grandma thing, because we're going to have Gabriel kind of show up. But I like the idea of Gabriel coming in as this little old woman that just kind of stumbles into the shop, sees this Mexican standoff. It's kind of awkward. we get the big reveal, and we reveal that it's, Gabriel.
Hell yeah.
Or just change or gender swap it. Gabrielle. There you go. It was a mistranslation. There you go.
Well, I mean, he
That
can take over any body he wants. You know what I mean? He's basically like Agent Smith.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Gabriel basically says, "Hey, God's pissed, but if you give up and kill these humans, you'll be forgiven."
He's saying that to our three musketeers here.
Yes, our three archangels, So you're kind of wrong-footed. They refuse, they kill the little lady with a big fight, doesn't matter. Gabriel's we set up that Gabriel is a slimy little worm of an angel.
Oh, I love that. That's cool.
Because he's the herald of God. He shows up to make all the big proclamations, but never really stays around.
He was like,
oh, he's the mouth of Sauron. That's what he is.
Yes.
Low-key BFFs with Lucifer.
Yeah.
So this is where we get our big reveal time. So while they're patching up Azrael, Raphael explains that God did not create the universe. He's not an all-powerful being, and he's not truly omnipotent. He's an alien that arrived millions of years ago and saw an opportunity in primitive man to go, oh, this is an ant farm for me to rule.
That's fucked up. I love it.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
that makes
it's immediately...
Yeah, let's Lovecraftian. Yeah.
It immediately sidesteps the whole, wait, what about all this stuff?
Like, nope,
and
it was
that
all
was,
bullshit. Made it all up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good for a while, but then as people kind of moved on and they made a softer image of God, he got pissed that, wait, no, you're my ants. You're supposed to do what I want. And when they didn't, he decided, all right, I'm going to take a more direct rule and I'm going to rule on Earth. And I've got my army of, angels to rule over.
Dude, you made God syndrome. I love this. It's
Yes.
so petty. It's awesome.
So after all this, Jophiel has kind of grown tired of this. He hates the sycophancy of the humans. He hates fighting them. Just, he's sick and tired.
Mm.
So he convinces... I don't know who I'd cast for Azrael, but Raphael, I want to do, Katie M. O'Brien. She's like the immediate fan cast right now for Gabby in The Last of Us. She was an Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
That's the kind of casting I want to do for the Angels. I just want to do big brick shithouse people.
She was in that new Star Wars movie or show.
Yeah.
Show.
She was in Star Wars briefly.
Yeah. No, this is a dope Angel. I love this.
Is she supposed to play Abby in Last of Us?
No,
season 2?
No. Gabby's already been cast, but like the number one thing she talks about is everyone says, "Oh my God, you should play Abby," and she's like, "Thanks, but I'm pretty sure I'm like 5-6 years too old for that role."
Yeah.
She's supposed to be young. Yeah,
it is a good fan casting because she looks young.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just say that one because that's how most people immediately know when I reference her. I'm like, oh, you mean Abby? I'm like, yes, that's who I'm referring to.
Yeah. To whoever's getting cast as Abby, God help you. You're going to get the worst fan mail.
Oof.
Yeah. But I like the idea of, Jophiel and Raphael are kind of at odds because, Jophiel's the commander, but Raphael's the protector.
Mm.
So again, we're kind of playing in like there's some animosity between the two.
Gotcha.
So Raphael immediately warns that, Gabriel's going to be back. They need to figure something out because he's not coming back alone. God's not going to be happy that anyone steps out of line, let alone 3 archangels.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So this is where we get the fun part of the movie. We go into the basement, we flick on a light, and we see all the crazy guns and weapons and crazy stuff you would find in a Vegas pawn shop, as well as it being a resistance hub.
Right.
So if we want to fucking bring out a minigun, we can. If we want to bring out a fucking cannon, we can.
Let's make it a sequence.
Yes, whatever. Just dropping. We get some cool, crazy weapons of the angels. Are like, ooh, what's that do? It melts the faces of whoever touches it. Oh. Okay. Again, we get this whole big amping up moment.
Is it like that helmet that was in Black Adam, whatever the guy's name is, the guy that has the helmet?
Oh,
Doctor
Strange
Fate.
Doctor
Strange Fate.
God damn it!
I can't claim that pun. I have a amalgam comic called Doctor Strange Fate, where they combine the two characters.
Oh yeah, I remember
nice.
that.
It's and he's got the helmet and Doctor Strange's like sorcerer cape. It's really cool.
Yeah, I remember when they did that.
I'm digging this, like the extra characters in this new action movie setup, because like we got more bodies, and I like that in a siege movie. The more bodies you can shove into a siege movie, and the more deaths you can care about, the better I think they work, because it really becomes like who's going to survive. I think Assault on Precinct 13 is like a great example of that. Like, oh shit, anybody could die. Oh my god.
Exactly. So then we get to the part where Gabriel arrives. He's got a horde of crazed fanatics for his first assault. You know, I don't know who I want to cast as Gabriel, but I just kind of want this wormy, suck-uppy piece of shit. Who I don't know who would play this, but someone that you can immediately hate.
Yeah. Oh, what about
Like
Joffrey, the kid who played Joffrey in
he'd be perfect for that.
There you go.
Yeah, no, imagine that energy.
Yeah. I can feel it.
And he's leading this, literal horde of crazy Christian nut jobs with fucking crosses tattooed on their faces.
Oh my god, I love this.
So we get our first big action set piece. It's this, they easily push back, and it's like, oh, this won't be so bad. We literally kicked Gabriel's ass. And that's when Raphael goes, did you think it was just going to stop there? And then the skies go dark. Like it immediately becomes nighttime.
Yes.
And you hear the horns, and you hear this thunderclap as literal angels start appearing.
Nice.
And I'm talking where the lightning touches down, there's an angel, and they're big, scary, like, oh shit moments.
Yeah. The big golden guys that I was pitching earlier. They're showing up for battle.
Yeah. And this is where things start going severely wrong.
Ooh, okay.
Like, we start losing people. We start losing chunks of Paradise Lost. We lose whatever the big gun we had set up that was making it feel like they were winning.
Yeah.
This is where Azrael finally goes down in some big epic fight. So to really establish, like, oh shit, they took out one of our angels.
Yeah, okay. All right. Damn, I love that.
And again, Gabriel pissed off before the fight was over.
Right.
So now we can really get the Raphael Jophiel thing. They're like, you motherfucker, our sibling is dead because you didn't want to fucking kill these stupid humans. Look, 12 of them just died. They don't matter.
Damn, what a line. Okay, all right, yeah. I'm getting a feeling for what kind of movie this is.
Yeah, I don't know. Then we make some big speech of like, I don't know. I don't know what Jophiel's motivation is. I haven't quite figured that out. But I like Raphael kind of got drug along because her siblings did. But she's like, why the fuck are we fighting for humans? Are you guys up to date on season 2 of Invincible?
Yeah, I am caught up.
Okay, well, I'll do minor spoilers.
I've read the comics, so go ahead and spoil.
Okay, so Omni-Man's speech when he first meets back up with Mark, he's like, why do I care?
Yeah.
That's Raphael's speech, like, why the fuck do we care?
Yeah, okay. I'm tracking.
They're soft, they're weak, they don't matter, and one of ours died to save theirs.
I like the idea of having like a change of conscience in the middle of a siege too. Like this is you're like tearing the characters apart internally as well as externally. I like that.
Well, there's been this kind of like ongoing tension because these humans, they've been fighting against the angels and now they have to work against them. So there's been this whole thing all along. Raphael is clearly not happy to be there. Now she's extra mad that her sister's gone. And it's like, obviously they're going to lose. They barely have anything left of the pawn shop to hold on to.
Yeah.
It's over. But the humans are like, no, we won. We, beat back the angels. Gabriel pissed off. We've made our point. And I think Jophiel goes, nah, Gabriel went and got Michael.
Okay.
Oh, so the son went to go talk to dad.
Yeah. And they're like, wait, what's so bad about Michael? He's God's champion.
Daddy hit me.
Exactly. No, maybe we have a scene where we finally get a blow on Gabriel.
Wow.
Like Jophiel almost kills Gabriel, and that's when Gabriel fucks off out of the fight.
Okay.
Like that, I like the idea. We'll have Jophiel felt confident when he had a bunch of other angels around him to watch his back, and then he got punched once, and he's like, "Oh, that's it. I'm going to get Michael."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so Michael, as God's champion, is like, this is a kind of boss level fight.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So then Michael comes down. I don't know who Michael, but I'm thinking like Arnold Schwarzenegger in like the first Terminator levels of intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Like just oh fuck, the big epic boss music kicks off.
We can keep the Game
big at this time.
Yeah, we can keep the Game of Thrones thing going and get half Thor in here.
Yeah, half Thor or the Hound.
Yeah.
Yarp.
Yeah. Some big 6'6" scary motherfucker that's just like, oh shit, we barely survived the angels. We've been getting our asses kicked. And like the first thing that Michael does is he just evaporates one of our human characters we've really come to like. Just looks at him and then poof, gone, dead.
Damn.
Well, unfortunately, the problem with that is that you create a situation where there's no way to stop him.
Yeah.
Because it's the same problem we had with X-Men Apocalypse when we talk about that. Like, he can just look at a person and they melt away. So how is there ever going to be a fight?
Well, I don't know.
It's too powerful.
So
yeah, we gotta scale it down.
What if he has that ability over human characters, but not the angel characters? Like, because that necessitates them being there in the first place too. Is like, now that we have something that the humans would not be able to face down, they are necessitating angels be there. And now it's not a Deus Ex Machina. These are characters that were set up to be there.
Yeah, because now this is the point that Jophiel and Raphael are like, get the fuck out of here. It's over.
Yeah.
We lost. We'll fight him the best we can, but it's fucking over.
Damn. Paradise Lost.
And this is where we get,
There you go. Yeah.
Literally, that's all that's left standing of the original pawn shop is the sign that says Paradise Lost. The pawn has fallen off.
It would be so funny if like it was dilapidated down to the point where it was just the L. Like they just took a great big L.
So we get a big epic fight between, Jophiel and Raphael and Micah and Michael with, cool angelic weapons, big beat him up, knock him down fight.
Yeah. This is the Dragon Ball Z shit. Or
yes, this is just like
more clearly. Did you guys see that movie Immortals that came out the next year after this?
With Henry Cavill.
The visual style for their fights
looks really
that
cool.
would be great for Angels. I could see that for Angels.
That's the thing. We have this big knock him down, drag him out fight. Raphael gets her head torn off.
Ooh, what are you doing to me, Ulrich? That's not cool.
Yep, no. It's down to Jophiel and Michael. It's this big whole thing. We see one of the human characters come back, picks up Azrael's sword or something. And because Azrael is the angel of death, he's got the one weapon that can kill an angel.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep.
And so we get the last minute save of they're able to kill Michael. And I don't know. I don't know if Jophiel lives or not, but
no, I like
Michael's
the stakes being high. I think bringing characters back from the brink at the very end is like, it's a cop out against the previous characters you kill. Like, make the deaths count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there should be a cost to an angel who is not the angel of death using the sword too. I think I like the idea that it's the one thing that can hurt Michael, because that does give you like a concise. The audience will grasp that so quick. But like, I think if there's a cost to it, like maybe even if it's just a hand, you know what I mean? Just like a cost to it would make it like.
I like the
obvious.
idea that to take a life, it has to take a life with the sword. It takes the life of whoever uses it. Like, it's balanced like that.
Yeah, and so that
the whole time, like, we saw Azrael using every other weapon but the big sword, and we're like setting up like, why isn't she using the sword?
Yeah.
It's right there. Look how cool it looks.
Yeah, it's your Chekhov's gun.
She specifically told no one to touch it, and now we know why. It's like, oh, it'll kill anything, but it kills whoever uses it.
So it's like it cancels everything out then.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's a really cursed weapon. And we can set it up for the sequel movie. But anyways, they take a trophy from Michael. I don't know if it's wings, halo head, something to prove like they can be killed.
Yeah.
And our movie ends with our surviving human characters saying directly to the camera, very boldly, if we can kill an archangel, we can kill God. And that's your sequel bait.
Okay.
Humanity's literally going to wage a war on heaven.
Yes, that is the idea, because heaven came down to fuck our shit up, and they're like, we know we can kill them. We know they aren't immortal. We know they aren't omnipotent, and we have a super weapon.
Well, and
let's go fuck them up.
I love the idea we could lampshade that super weapon within the movie and say God's ego is so big he made a God-killing weapon. Because he was like, oh, no one will be able to use it against me. So,
and that's why he sent so many people to capture these 3 rogue ones. It wasn't just that he was pissed that 3 archangels broke away. It's that one of the archangels is the archangel of death.
Yeah. I also like the idea that if the angel of death helps your team, you lose most of your team. Like, this is a very costly effects. Like, the characters really kind of work for their actions.
Yeah. Do we want to have like demons or Lucifer showing up in this at any point?
I'm happy to leave that in my horror pitch where you're getting yanked from heaven into hell and they're both kind of like equally awful. I'll leave it up to you, Ulrich. I don't know if hell necessarily needs to be involved here. Also,
sequel stuff.
Hell's not.
How do we get into
sequel stuff?
Oh, here we go. Sequel stuff. How do we get into heaven? Well, there is one guy that could get us in there. He was there. He's not on God's side anymore.
So you need the Merovingian. The key maker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
I have spoilers for the Bible. Hell's not in the Bible.
Yeah, not in the Bible.
So,
neither is a virgin birth.
So, like,
virgin birth is
we don't even technically need it if you're just like, well, and you definitely don't need it for all biblical canon is based on an alien that arrived here to enslave us. I like Ulrich's.
Yeah, you can make up any. You can make up any bullshit you want. Yeah,
it's basically just tech. Maybe it's tech from his old planet. You know, the god-killing weapons based on that.
Yeah. What is that Arthur C. Clarke statement that when technology reaches a high enough status, it feels like magic?
The distinction between magic and technology becomes inseparable at a certain point.
Yeah, that's the quote.
Well, and like this also, Ulrich, this pitch feels like it's connected to the Priest universe somehow. Like the
God damn it.
The visual imagery that we've landed on really works well in the Priest universe. Is all I'm saying.
Did you just rework your Priest pitch and just made it into Legion? Is that what you did?
No, my Priest pitch is we're doing it all in that opening animation style.
Oh okay. Yeah, dude, absolutely.
And we're going to stop pretending it's not trying to be 40K, and we're just going to let it lean all the way into that grim dark aesthetic.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And
that's Priest. That's how you fix Priest.
There's your quick fix for Priest. There you go. This is Legion / Priest fix. Everything else in the movie is garbage.
Again, I just, I broke the aesthetic knob off. Like, no, let's go grimmer and darker and more bombastic.
Yeah, no, I this like panel van version is so much more fun. Like it's
because that's what this movie desperately wanted to be, and I'm like, cool, let's make it that. I love a siege movie.
Yeah, you know what I would also even say? You say it's like a panel van that Zack Snyder would totally direct. Zack Snyder should direct. This is right up his alley.
Wow,
it's like
I cannot believe the words that are coming into my ears from Jesse Fresco's mouth.
Bullshit. It's super religious bullshit, and it's just filled with a bunch of lore that's nonsensical. Sure, give it to him.
We have to change the casting for Gabriel then. It's got to be Jesse Eisenberg as our wormy.
Jesse Eisenberg
as our wormy awful.
Fuck you.
No, you said Zack Snyder. This is on you, bitch. That is your.
And it's good. I was gonna go Michael Cera, but we can.
Michael Cera. Okay, wait a second. That's a much funnier. Now we're getting back into like Dogma as an action movie territory, and I'm ready to run.
I would say like. No, Kieran Culkin because of Succession. I would say
that's a good choice. That's a great choice.
He's good at playing a sleazy slime ball. Yeah.
And then we could pull another Succession actor in and have one of the Skarsgårds play an angel, right? Like, why not,
go.
Dude? They look angelic to start with.
Yeah.
No, we can cast one of the Skarsgårds as Azrael.
Hell yeah.
We'll do Bill. He already looks kind of like half dead.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård's kind of cornered the market on that. Weird, creepy.
So I just got to cast Jofiel, the lead. I don't know who to cast as Jofiel.
Put Alexander in there. Do both Skarsgård boys together. That'd be so.
You can't have two Skarsgårds in one movie. It's too much sex appeal.
You made them siblings in your story, dog. Like, yeah.
They are siblings.
That is true.
It works.
There you go. Done.
It's a fun fan casting. It absolutely works.
Okay. So then who do I cast? Do we have any more Skarsgårds? I can cast one for Michael.
What's Stellan Skarsgård up to?
I refuse. Jesse, you've just turned this into the Wonder Woman finale. Do not put an old man's head in your action finale. Don't do it. That's a mistake.
He can play God. He can play like the voice of God.
Dude! After his Andor speech, yeah,
he's the voice of God.
Angry, petulant. That works.
Okay. Listen. Let's make this a Skarsgård. Like you might as well even change the title to like Skarsgård, the Skarsgård.
We'll finally get all the Skarsgårds together in one movie.
Oh,
isn't there another one? Isn't there like four?
There is.
4 sons.
There's another Skarsgård. I don't remember his name, but he can be one of the pawn shop dudes.
Okay. I don't know if he also acts.
He does. He was in Vikings. He looks like he would live in a Vegas pawn shop.
There's actually 4 of them. There's Gustav, Walter, Alexander, and Bill. And then Stellan's the dad. So
I love that. Gustav, Walter, Alexander, and Bill. And there's almost a joke. There's almost a joke there.
They all really would cast well as angels. Gustav has like a Jason Statham look to him. We know what Alex and
it's that Nordic.
Yeah.
Appearance.
Yeah.
And then Walter looks like Bill but blonde, and also a little bit like Kieran Culkin. So he's kind of. Let's just throw all the fucking Skarsgårds in this movie. It was a joke before, but now it's real.
Canon.
So the only thing left to fill out is the characters inside of our human characters.
Who cares?
Keep the cast that we got initially. They're so inoffensive, and now we're killing them. Yeah, let's keep them.
Yeah, there's no.
And they can be with a good script. They can be likable.
Yeah,
that's really what the problem was with the movie is that because the content of the script wasn't very good, they had nothing to do.
Yeah,
they just kind of stand around and just kind of shoot at random zombies.
Yeah,
give them material to work with. They're good.
I liked the idea too that they were all a little fucked up and that maybe this was their version of hell for themselves. But I wish that had been called out. Like this is the kind of movie where like Michael could show up and be like, oh yeah, like have you not figured it out? You all are a little fucked up. Like every single one of you, there's something wrong with you. They're going to use these. And then, because the movie calls to that, like they're going to have their weaknesses used against them. And then it kind of pays off with the wife running out for her husband in the acid scene. That's where we lose the cook. And like, it's a cool sequence, but doesn't pay off in exactly the same way.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe thread some of that in between the waves to kind of try and. Because that's like Gabriel's thing. Gabriel will always be out there trying to whisper like, hey guys, you don't want to do this.
Yeah, a more Lord of the Rings grandness angle is so apt here. And you get to hire in a bunch of extra people. Dude, a bunch of Skarsgårds on this movie. And with the cast that we already got, like this could easily hit one of those like weird cultural touchstone movies as a pitch idea. Because it's got, we kind of kept all the frenetic weirdness of the original, right? But now it feels focused.
Yeah.
And I feel like this would be really cheap to film. Again, you're building a set in a desert, somewhere that looks like Vegas, maybe even fucking Vegas, and most of your money goes to your cast and your effects, and then you just hire hundreds of extras to be gunned down.
Like what?
Fucking George Miller could direct this in the Australian.
Oh, shut the fuck up! Okay, that is the Zack Snyder of like. That is the way to outdo Zack Snyder. I mean, yeah, that is what a move.
Because I mean, this also is in Snyder's wheelhouse. Like,
have him on as the visualist. I've always said he would work better with somebody else. Zack Snyder, George
Miller, make him the director of photography.
Yeah,
make him the director of photography. That's what I've said because like the Rebel Moon reviews came out recently, and it's of course. Dog shit. No surprise.
What a shock.
It's like, but everyone's like, oh, it's derivative, it's poor script writing, but everyone says, yeah, visually it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like, well, just make him,
this is the Snyder
film.
Make
him the photographer.
Right.
That's what he's good at.
Just hand Zack Snyder.
Do not put him behind a computer to write a script.
Right.
No, someone else can do that. But when like they're all arming up and, we're just like doing zoom in on bulging arm muscles and whatnots, he can get all of his eroticism out in one go.
Yeah.
Because we've cast men, women, we got everyone. There's something here for everybody.
Yeah. And like $26 million budget. I feel like you could accomplish this movie that you're pitching within that easily. Skarsgårds are cheap, man. Maybe
there's so many.
I bet you could pitch this to them, shooting it in their homeland. And like faking it for anywhere else in the world, but shooting there and being like, oh yeah, it's a big family movie, guys. You get to like stay at home with like your extended family, make a movie. Like you could genuinely pitch something like this, I think.
And like the marketing would do itself because Fox News would be having a rage fit. They're depicting angels as aggressors. They hate America.
Right.
Well, they hate the whole world. That's kind of the point of the apocalypse.
Yeah. I don't know if you all have read the Old Testament, but God hates all this shit, man. He keeps trying to
destroy all of it.
He keeps trying to destroy it.
Yeah. No, I just love leaning into the idea that God was this petulant child of like, they're not paying enough attention.
Yeah.
I'm going down there.
I mean, that's the premise of Preacher, is that he basically wants people. He wants everybody to love him. You know, he just wants to let people choose to love him. It's like, but he wants to do it the right way, to not do it the way they did the last time. It's like, all right, well, that still makes you a fucking manipulator. You're still a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, that's like kind of the central premise for this and all the angels. And again, they're like, yeah, because we're better than them. Look at them. Snap's neck. They're like twigs. Why shouldn't we rule over them?
Dude, I
feel like this is a speech that Optimus Prime should have given at some point.
Right.
That was the most interesting thing in the latest Transformers, when Optimus was kind of an angry asshole for 5 minutes. I'm like,
no, we're not talking about last night. We're not talking about last night.
No, not last night. Rise of the Beasts. There's
also
literally
skip.
A scene where
Also
Optimus
skip.
is pissed.
Yeah. Ulrich, you're literally the only person on this planet besides 3 cats that watch that.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I know.
So
because I love Bumblebee so much. I'm like, well, it's got to be good because Bumblebee was good.
Oh yeah, no,
Surprise.
The Bumblebee team is not continued. I would love to see them come back and make a movie though, for sure.
Yes.
Well, dude, I love this pitch. It's basically Assault on Precinct 10 Commandments. Boom!
Yeah.
That's the working title when they're on the clapper on set. Assault on Precinct 10 Commandments.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we keep the Legion title because
I think Sacrilegious is the more fun title. I don't know if that's better for the horror movie, but I think even a sacrilegious action movie could use that title.
I maybe Paradise Falls, Paradise Lost.
Well, Paradise Lost, it's confusing. It sounds like you're adapting the actual novel of John Milton.
That's
wrote.
true.
It's kind of grandiose.
It's
kind of grandiose, yeah.
It's too grandiose for what it is, for a schlocky action.
Right.
Yeah. But I kind of like the bait and switch of, it's about that. Okay, Renaissance work goes in like, there's a lot more muscular women in this than I anticipated.
Right. I mean, what else? What other names could we use? Like Trinity, that doesn't work. I don't know. God, pick something.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
Yeah.
So the like biblical shit.
Archangels. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to. I wish I knew any Bible stuff. 'Cause, like, there's got to be a fun, dumb sounding title from the Bible to throw in. Here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, so Lucifer was called the Morning Star before he was like changed. I don't know if there's anything in there.
That's like the sequel one is whatever the subheader
but
is. Operation
also
Morning
like
Star or
Assault
something.
on Heaven kind of has a ring to it. Where
there apparently I've just been looking this up. I was the thing that you were pitching was reminding me of something, and from years and years ago there was a comic book called Ascend. And it was literally about a trinity of angels going down to Earth to kill humans to create more angels to fight a war.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, that's
all
cool.
right. Keep the grandioseness of this. What about Archangel's Ascension? And then the sequel could be Archangel's Dominion. Archangel's you could like change the subtitle. So it's the Archangel's like series, but then it has a subtitle. That looks dope.
I can see that.
Yeah. There you go. Ascend. Apparently this was an Image comic from years ago.
It sounds like
I remember seeing this in stores. I do remember this comic. That's cool.
Nope, that's the poster art though. Like the design for the poster.
I'm guessing
maybe
the
not that
interior artwork
Underworld
is not so good.
Never is.
Yeah. There was one company, Radical Entertainment. They had the cover art was the same as the interior art, so it always looked good.
Wow, that's cool.
Then they went out of business. They put out that Hercules movie and Oblivion, and then they went out of business.
Damn.
Which Hercules movie? Because there was two.
The
of them.
Dwayne Johnson one.
Oh, the one that wanted to be interesting, but because it's a rock film, it can't be.
Yeah. I saw him in a video recently comparing himself to Tom Cruise and talking about wanting to be the biggest actor in the world. And I was like, buddy, I've got issues with Tom Cruise, but the man can act circles around you. Like, let's be very, very clear why Tom Cruise has the prestige that he has. I think The Rock is unaware that he's bad at acting. I think he's unaware.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right.
He gets by on charisma all alone.
And listen, sometimes that works, but like he's way funnier in old stuff like Be Cool than he is in any of his own shit now.
Before the ego and the personality became the brand.
But we could put The Rock in this movie. He could definitely play an archangel of some kind.
Oh, if you don't want to do Michael, that works. It's like, okay, just stand there. But he wouldn't lose the fight because The Rock can't lose a fight.
Yeah, can't lose a fight. So what's the point?
Because
I wonder if we could talk him into it because God ordained him to lose the fight.
Oh god!
No, it's in canon, buddy.
We'll tell him he's in the sequel.
Dave Bautista.
Ooh. Oh, Dave Bautista would be perfect for this.
Oh,
yeah, he'd be willing to go all out.
Imagine him showing up to the battlefield crying and going, "I'm weeping over the souls that I'm about to take," and then just starts annihilating people. Would that not be just the most frightening image of Batista that you could conjure?
Dave Bautista with a big flaming with like the big flaming sword.
And then have one of the archangels just comment something like, "That's the most badass thing you could say entering a battlefield possible."
This is why he's God's chosen champion.
Right. I am weeping for the souls of the people I am about to slay. What?
The sword could do something really cool, like in Dark Souls. There's the Moonlight sword that shoots out a wave when you swing.
Yeah.
It's like a big sickle that comes out of your.
We
sword.
are beating the
like
fuck out of this pawn shop. It is getting sliced and diced.
That's
like a hack and slash.
We're killing off the few remaining human characters. We're destroying their last holdout. Again, all hope has to be lost.
Yeah, I love that it kind of just comes down to a couple like immortal creatures invented by an alien on the Earth. That's our apocalypse. So wild. Like that feels like its own lore that it would launch. Like your sequels could be the world that was born out of the world that they created.
Yeah. There you go. And if you want to put Lucifer in there at some point, he could be like another alien that crashed on the planet and.
Well, I like the idea that because the commander of the legions went rogue, more angels are like, wait a second. Maybe they were onto something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they have to inhabit the earth because now there's nobody there to inhabit it. That'd be cool.
Oh, that's the third one, is that they kill God, now what?
Ooh.
Because just because you killed God, that doesn't dismantle the whole operation.
Yeah, it's like a cult leader being killed off, but like the cult would still be there. It's like this still carry on.
And that's where Gabriel takes over in the third one. Like now Gabriel, like we've had to put up with Gabriel being a little slime for 2 movies. In the third one, he's like, and I'm God now.
Mm.
We need Doom Guy to show up at some point. He would fix us in an afternoon.
This does feel like Doom Guy lore, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does. I mean, I've always said that if you're ever going to do that third Doom game, whenever they do it, call it Doom Immortal. He has to go kill God because God's an asshole.
Dude, now that I've seen Silent Night, I think you could do a dialogueless Doom movie.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely. You could.
Yeah.
Absolutely you
could. It's a ballet. Go watch the Doom ballet. It's awesome. It's a ballet with guns.
Yeah. Yeah, cast like some big guy. Cast like John Cena, Dave Bautista, any big guy that has like muscles
John
everywhere.
Cena as you can't see him. Oh my God. That's so funny.
Yeah. Whenever I saw his arms in Peacemaker and he has like those muscles and his like all the veins popping, I'm like, oh, he's just Doom Guy.
Yeah.
He's just Doom Guy. It's like, yeah, cool.
Damn, we're just giving away pitches in this episode. Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah. Merry fucking Christmas. This is the Christmas Miracle Film Rescue episode. What a way to end this season.
You got a Legion fix, you got a Priest fix, and you got a Doom pitch. There you go.
We are...
One of those needs to happen. Come on.
We're and you got 2 pitches out of Legion, by the way. So we're 4 for 4. Yeah. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. We're at 90 minutes. The movie was only 100 minutes long, so we can wrap up before they do.
Yeah, how about that? Let's wrap it up.
Well, Ulrich, thank you so much for your pitch and sliding through. They're always awesome. It's always a pleasure. I really appreciate you allowing us to tease out our little ideas within your pitch, because it always leads us off into like such fun territory. So I appreciate you being here. Geeks with Shields, tell us about that for a second.
So Geeks with Shields is your catch-all geeky, nerdy podcast to get you through the darkest timeline we seem to be trapped in. By the time this drops, our 6th anniversary episode, the first part should drop, we talked about all the Star Wars. All of it.
Everything.
After like 6 years of not talking about Star Wars because Star Wars stopped being fun to talk about.
It was rough for a minute there. You are absolutely correct.
So yeah, 6th anniversary, we're like, you know what? We haven't talked about Star Wars since the very first episode of the podcast. Let's talk about all the Star Wars. And they were like, I don't want to talk about Star Wars anymore. That was 4 hours of Star Wars talk. We're good now.
Got it out of your system.
Well,
nice.
We just did our best of 2023 episode last night, and that episode with the ad break in the middle, it's about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm looking forward to that one.
It's a long episode.
Man,
we covered like 50 movies in the
we
thing.
Did.
So.
Yeah.
We watched a lot.
we did our deadliest catch. We went out and got the crabs and brought them back and let everybody know it was good.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, and what was bad?
Right. So
no hard.
Yeah, this has been.
It has. Ulrich, where can people check out that podcast?
So just search Geeks with Shields on any of your favorite podcast providers. We're there, or we should be. And social-wise, we left Twitter a while ago, but we are on Blue Sky.
Okay.
It's boring, but there's a lot less Nazis.
That sounds appealing.
Yeah.
No,
isn't
I'm
Blue
so
Sky
much
you
happier.
can only get there if you get invited? Isn't that the case?
Yes, but I have so many fucking invite codes because everyone's like, well, I don't want to leave Twitter. I've made so many good friends, and I'm just so happy being miserable here.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving Twitter
like,
at the end
okay.
of this year. I'm not going into 2024 with the Twitter. I have Threads. I might jump to Blue Sky, but like TikTok and YouTube, I'd much rather just make videos now. Like, let people interact with my thoughts outside of my brain after the fact.
Yeah, well, no, we're giving. We have our Discord. We have a whole channel just for giving Blue Sky codes
Hell yeah.
away because they actually rack up pretty quick, and everyone's like, "Here, go, come over to this other site and populate it, make it."
You get a code, and you get a code.
Okay, Oprah.
Hell yeah. Well, I encourage everyone to go check them out. Always an engaging podcast to listen to. We've guested over there ourselves quite a few times, so we're very synchronous with Geeks with Shields. We like the same stuff, and we like having you here. Jesse Fresco, thank you also so much for being here and sitting through Legion. You never have to do it again.
Oh, excellent. Although we do have a whole next season already lined up, so we'll get to sit through a bunch of other junk next season.
Well, I'll see you on Film
Hooray!
Rescue sometime in February. I'll catch you on Split the Difference in our next episode. Probably by the time this one's out, if you want to check that one out, please do.
Yeah. I think that's the end of our season.
We did it, guys.
Season 9. Man.
Man, we made it. And brought it in with a fun one, too. It's always great to end on a high note.
Yeah.
Always great to end on a high note.
Yeah. I thought about swapping Torque over to this one, but I just, I don't know what... That doesn't seem like the kind of thing you would end a season
No,
on.
because this gets to be... It's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas episode. I'm happy to end it. And Cold Pursuit also feels like a Christmas movie because of all the snow. So we're really on
cold.
theme this month, man.
Yeah.
Well...
There you
I
go.
think that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching the Film Rescue Show. I've been your Pitchmaster General Seth, and good night.
Good night. See you in season 10.